I wake up, my man. I take my man. I make breakfast, my man. I'm driving, my man. I'm bathing, my man.
Was there ever a day you feel like in recent time where you like didn't think that?
No,
It's never happened.
no.
Just my man, my man at all times.
Latto is currently pregnant with her first child. And you would think this would be a moment of celebration, but a lot of people throughout this have been questioning a few things. Her partner is allegedly 21 Savage, and he's currently married while dating. And people have been kind of confused because Latto specifically is an artist that has been known to harp on not only not having kids, but also her low body count. Let's go ahead and examine how Miss Latto and the girls are Sally Birds. The first time I saw Latto was on this show that she was with Jermaine Dupri and Super Peach. So that's how I knew Latto. And from there, I've always been, kind of keeping my ears open for her career because I basically grew up watching her. And one thing I can say about Miss Latto is she is very talented. Alyssa is extremely talented. But her music, for some reason, has not managed to connect with the populace. And I think it ties into some of the things that we'll discuss within this video. Big Latto herself recently came out and dropped her song Business and Personal, an intro for her upcoming Big Mama project. And in the song, she announced that she was pregnant. Now, if I'm being very honest, there were already rumors about Latto being pregnant, and there were already rumors about who she was potentially pregnant by, and those things have been floating on the internet for some time. So we kind of already knew, and I think this is kind of sad because this does strip her of that privacy that she needs. And because Latto is a businesswoman, and because we do exist underneath the thing of capitalism, she used her announcement as a way to, launch and promote her upcoming project, Big Mama. On the surface, this doesn't really sound like a big deal. So why do we, the audience, care? I specifically want to focus on who Latto is having this kid with and how that ties into some of my critiques of the new age and the new flock of female rappers. I am somebody that believes that we're all recovering birds. And a lot of this is primarily due to the fact that a lot of us were raised under patriarchy. And I say that as a way to basically extend grace to the women that I'm going to be discussing in this video. One of the things that I genuinely appreciate about Latto is how in her interview with, I believe, The Breakfast Club, talked about how advice from older female rappers could potentially help a lot of these newer girls and help protect them from some of the predatory men within. Latto is advocating for community in that sense. Her music itself and some of the statements that she said directly clash with one of my favorite parts of Latto.
If there's ever the epitome of my man, it's you. Literally the sound is you.
What can I say? I love my man.
We know. Talk to me real quick about the my man.
I wake up, my man. I take a shit, my man. I make breakfast, my man. I'm driving, my man. I'm bathing, my man.
Was there ever a day you feel like in recent time where you like didn't think that?
No,
It's never happened.
no.
Just my man at all times.
Eat, my man. Shit, my man. Bathe, my man. Sleep, my man.
Latto's music specific does a really good example of showcasing the birdism that exists within the genre of female rap. On one hand, Latto herself is somebody that speaks to the community that is necessary and needed within the genre of female rap, and talks to how a lot of female rappers can benefit from having community and a support system from other female rappers. But Latto's music itself kind of seems to depict a different type of mentality. A lot of Latto's music, as well as music that we hear from a lot of other female rappers, seems to focus on this shaming other women for being sexually promiscuous while you participate in purity politics and participate in trad wife bullshit.
It's literally not that deep. I'm pushing, be a boss.
But why do you feel like, though, for the women, they should not be allowing men to put their hand in the cookie jar, like you said?
Because they not deserving of it.
What if they are? What if they are
Then
good?
give them some of that cookie.
But what if it's more than 5?
I never said that was a bad thing. Why does me popping my, I never said that was a bad thing.
It just felt like you're very proud to have.
I am though.
But why? Where does the pride stem from?
I don't know if this is the trad wifeification of female rap. A lot of her music seems to be focused on lower body counts and the fact that she participates in purity culture, basically tying back into the trad white values that we have seen within the last 5 years within mainstream pop culture. Latto's music can kind of speak to some of the things that we've heard from women in society who like to espouse patriarchal talking points as some type of freedom. This is why watching Latto specifically now have a kid by 21 Savage has been so jarring for people, because Latto in her music has espoused this type of purity culture and this type of birdism that makes it seem as though that she would never be as downtrodden as the average woman. This has led some to argue that Latto is doing the opposite of what her music espouses. Well, is she? And I'm obviously not Latto, so I can't be in her mind, but based off of the music she's made and based off of some of the stuff that she said.
Do you care? Do you care how many bodies your girl got?
Nah, I don't know. That don't got nothing to do, man.
Okay.
What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. Why you always saying that in your music? That's little. Nah, on my mother, nah, stop that. Nah, Ojo, stop saying that, bro.
Stop saying what?
Why you always saying in your song how much bodies you got, though? Who gives a fuck?
Who ever said? I said I have a low body count.
No,
That's all I said.
you always make it seem as if you could count your bodies on one hand.
I
really
can
listen to
though.
you.
I can though.
But why does that matter though?
It seems as though that Latto genuinely believes that because she has a low body count and because she is as desirable, Latto has a very demeaning view of other women, and specifically other women that are not as desirable as she is.
Was that a thing at all, having mixed parents in terms of the area where you grew up at? So was there any issues at school, or did everyone not really make it a big deal?
It was definitely a lot of issues in school. You know, when you're light skinned, you pretty, they kind of associate you with the stereotypical light skin. I think I'm all that girl. So I definitely dealt with a lot of bullying and things like that.
Latto is somebody that has harped on her desirability as a way to prop her up against other women. That mindset itself makes perfect sense as to why Latto was willing to go ahead and date and have a kid with 21 Savage. With Latto deciding to align with a man who not only has a wife, but also has 2 kids, it shows how some women, sadly, may give lip service to community building and being a girl's girl, but in reality, they're willing to align with patriarchy whenever it's beneficial for them. And Latto may be the most prominent example of this, but in reality, there are a lot of female rappers who give lip service to, sex work and to being body positive and give lip service to community building, but in reality, their actions themselves don't really live up to it. How even though Latto herself was extremely critical of other women and extremely judgmental of other women, in the end, she was willing to participate in the same exact things she was criticizing other women for. If you ever had a conversation with me about female rap for longer than like 30 minutes, you probably have heard me say this, which is basically, all the girls are birds. And when I say all the girls are birds, I'm not saying this as a way to just be demeaning. It could sound like I'm just being hyperbolic, because I can definitely be a very flowery, exaggerated, hyperbolic bitch. And what I mean by this is that the genre of female rap doesn't really allow for the girls to not be birds. The genre of female rap was created alongside its male counterpart, hip-hop, in the 1970s. Female rappers have always existed in hip-hop. From individuals like Ciroc, Roxanne Shante, Salt and Peppa, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. The one queen at a time rule is an unspoken rule within the genre of female rap. And because female rappers themselves are just as competitive as their male counterparts, a lot of these women were willing to participate in this rule as a way to showcase how they themselves were the best rappers and the most dominant. But what you started noticing within female rap is that even though there were a lot of girl boss feminism, when you actually examine the genre, you saw some of these women that were willing to align themselves with the men in the industry. An example of this would be Kim and Foxy battling. A lot of the rumors that were circulating both of those women, it came from individuals within their corners getting on platforms and spreading rumors. And at some point, both of these women started regurgitating some of the patriarchal talking points that they heard within the industry about each other. Now, I want to make sure that I emphasize this. The genre of female rap is both a thing of confidence building, but I would be obtuse to not acknowledge the fact that the genre of female rap, in order to prop up these women and make themselves feel confident, does step on the backs of other women. And this is something that has been examined by a plethora of other amazing YouTubers. And please feel free to watch those videos after mine. Good luck, America. First of all, before I continue with that, thank you for all the positive feedback that I got with the Nicki video and all of the comments that I've gotten. And I don't have the words right now, but I am genuinely thankful for every single person that watched that Nicki video. And when I do get the words, to put in all of my feelings about how thankful I am about people watching my Lil Nikki video, I will tell you people, because I am genuinely like, I have been smiling for weeks. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Thank you again. And thank you to everybody that subscribed. But now that I've said that, if you're interested in more content like this, please feel free to go ahead and like the video, and please feel free to subscribe to my channel.